great first step toward getting the Democrats back to sanity, and a second good step would be, we got to do something about The View. I really believe that. I mean, could you just
It's huge in Iran, though.
when I mention The View in Iran, all with the same head cover, can't even tell which one is which.
Bill Maher has once again taken aim at Whoopi Goldberg, this time over what he called one of her most ridiculous comments yet. In a blunt and funny jab, Maher suggested that The View either be taken off the air or simply not taken seriously anymore. So, what exactly did Whoopi say? She's no stranger to controversies. She's previously claimed the Holocaust wasn't about race, and even compared Trump to the Taliban. But her latest comment might be her most shocking yet, and Maher wasn't about to ignore it. He called her out directly and questioned why The View is still treated like a serious show. According to Maher, it's time something changed, and judging by the reaction online, a lot of people agree with him.
Whoopi Goldberg saying it's worse to be a black person in America today than a woman in Iran. You know, I see we were talking about the trans issue before, and the New York Times really has come over on that to the sort of the sensible, liberal, not crazy woke position. I think this is a great first step toward getting the Democrats back to sanity, and a second good step would be, we got to do something about The View. I really believe that. I mean, could you just
It's huge in Iran, though.
when I mention The View in Iran, all with the same head cover, can't even tell which one is which.
Bill Maher has finally had enough of The View and, especially Whoopi Goldberg, and honestly, can you blame him? Some of the things Whoopi says are so extreme, even people on the left are backing away from her. At this point, it's hard to take her seriously. Maher certainly doesn't. He slammed Whoopi for what he sees as completely losing touch with reality, saying she's gone full woke and that The View has turned into a toxic echo chamber. In his words, the show isn't just irritating, it's dangerous. It's drifting away from core American values like free speech, open conversation. Griffin and Whoopi were debating the treatment of women and minorities in Iran. Alyssa pointed out that before Iran became an Islamic state, women had rights. But once the regime took over, those freedoms were stripped away. Women had to cover their hair or face jail time, and gay people were thrown off buildings. Speaking out against the government could get you executed. That's when Whoopi jumped in and gave what might be her wildest take yet. Watch this.
Throw gay people off of buildings. They don't adhere to basic human rights.
Listen, here's the thing. Let's not do that, because if we start with that, we have been known in this country to tie gay folks to the car.
Where the Iranian regime is today in 2025 is nothing compared to the United States.
Hanging black people. So
it is not even the same. I couldn't step during this.
Wait. That's not what you mean to say.
Whoopi actually compared Iran's government-backed violence to isolated crimes in the USA's, if they're the same. Think about that. She equated a brutal regime with a free country that protects basic rights. That's the problem with this kind of thinking. Instead of calling out real oppression abroad, it turns into just another chance to bash America. It's dishonest, it's harmful, and honestly, it's exhausting. When people downplay real suffering to push a political message, they don't sound wise, they sound out of touch. And sadly, it didn't stop there.
That's why I am saying that it is the same. Murdering someone for their difference is not good, whoever does it. It's not good. So that's why I said you weren't saying what I heard was not what you meant.
I think it's very different to live in the United States in 2025 than it is to live in Iran.
Not if you're black.
Not for everybody.
Not if you're black.
Whoopi Goldberg actually suggested that black Americans have it worse than the 90 million people living under Iran's oppressive regime. Yes, she really said that. Think about it. She's comparing the USA, a country that elected a black president and continues to elevate minorities in government, to Iran, where women are beaten for showing their hair and where being gay can get you killed. That's not just wrong, it's delusional, in Whoopi's view. America in 2025, with freedom of speech, legal rights, and real opportunities, somehow on par with a country where women are silenced, dissent is crushed, and basic human rights don't exist. It's not just a bad take. It's an insult to the people who are actually suffering under brutal regimes. And now, people are finally calling her out. Here's what Rita Panahi had to say.
You're a minority because you're gay or an infidel, for example. Let me be clear. The Iranian regime will hang you from a crane in the public square for crimes like blasphemy, witchcraft, homosexuality, and of course, if you dare show any dissent, if you challenge the brutal regime. Whoopi thinks that's pretty much how black folks are treated in America. You absolute disgrace of a human being, Whoopi, to show absolutely no regard for the Iranian women who risk their lives to challenge the Islamist government.
This is the real problem with constant virtue signaling. It doesn't just feel fake, it makes you look completely out of touch. Whoopi probably thought she was standing up for the black community. She likely believed she was making some bold statement by comparing the experience of black Americans to the brutal oppression of women in Iran. But the truth is, that comparison is not only wrong, it's offensive. Yes, racism exists in America. But this is still a country where people have civil rights, legal protection, and the power to vote. That's a world apart from Iran, where women are jailed, beaten, or even killed for something as simple as not covering their hair. By trying to equate the two, Whoopi doesn't help anyone. She actually downplays the pain of Iranian women and disrespects the hard-earned progress of black Americans. That's not real advocacy. It's lazy, surface-level outrage pretending to be activism. Now take a listen to this powerful message from Representative Wesley Hunt.
Direct descendant of a slave. My great-great-grandfather was born on a Rosedown plantation. I am literally being judged not by the color of my skin, but by the content of my character. That's the progress, because, like, a lot of white people had to vote for me. A lot.
So
I don't even ever want to hear Whoopi Goldberg's conversation about how it's worse to be black in America right now. That's a bit far. And my father, who's 75 years old, he was a man that was in the French quarters that had to go get a sandwich to the back door of the building. And his son is now a United States congressman in a white majority district in Texas as a Republican. That is America.
As I've said before, I'm a direct descendant of a slave. My great-great-grandfather was born on the Rosedown plantation. And today, I'm living proof of how far this country has come. I'm not judged by the color of my skin. That's real progress. Because let's be honest, a lot of white Americans had to vote for me to be elected. A lot. So when I hear Whoopi Goldberg say it's somehow worse to be black in America today, that's going too far. My father is 75 years old. He grew up in a time when he couldn't even walk through the front door of a restaurant to get a sandwich, elected by a white majority district in Texas as a Republican. That's not oppression. That's America.
Celebrate that. Yes. And one of the ways we celebrate it is Juneteenth. That's a Texas holiday. It began in Texas in Galveston. General Granger came and read the Order Number 3 that finally abolished slavery months after the war, because the war took a time to get to Galveston. We celebrated that when I was a kid in Texas, but it becomes national a year or two ago, and Donald Trump doesn't want to celebrate that. To me, it's exactly what you're talking about. So is it 600,000 people died so that we wouldn't enslave people anymore, and the fact that freedom won is a good thing, and we should honor that. That's what Juneteenth's about. And I don't know why President Trump doesn't want to honor that.
So I don't want it. I don't want Black History Month. I don't want all these days for it to make everybody feel special. I'm the 80s baby. Everybody's too sensitive anyway. We're all Americans anyway. This holiday
That's what Morgan Freeman said.
Morgan Freeman said, I can't agree more with him.
Yeah, he said that to Mike Wallace. He said, I'm an American. Do you want to be called a Jew American, Mike?
No.
These are the real stories that people like Whoopi Goldberg tend to ignore. American man elected in a majority white district in Texas. That's not just some real, measurable progress. No one is saying America is perfect. But let's be honest, this country has come a long way socially, politically, and culturally. Compared to places like Iran, where women have no rights and dissent is brutally silenced. The freedoms we enjoy here aren't just better there. On a different planet, in America, people from every race, gender, and background can speak up, protest, vote, run for office, and build a future. That's something worth recognizing. Trying to downplay that by making false comparisons isn't bold, it's dishonest. And frankly, it's insulting to those who've actually lived through real oppression. Progress should be recognized, not twisted to fit a political agenda.
Sickening to witness the backflips from so many leftist feminists who just 3 years ago said they stood with the women of Iran as they fought against the country's oppressive hijab laws. The Women Life Freedom Uprising has long been forgotten, it seems, by the left, who would rather rail against Trump and Israel than be honest about the threat a nuclear Iran poses to the region and to the world.
During Congressman Wesley Hunt's inspiring speech, a Democrat still managed to drag Trump into turning a moment of unity into more race-based politics and division. That's the problem. Real progress gets ignored, unless it fits a certain narrative. If we truly want to move past racism, we need to stop focusing on skin color and start seeing each other as Americans. Celebrate achievement. Not identity. Unity doesn't come from labels, it comes from shared values and equal opportunity for all.
Get back to Whoopi, whose pathetic tantrum was cheered on by the View's equally pathetic and dim-witted audience.
But I think it's important we remember there are places much darker than this country and people who deserve rights.
Not everybody feels that way. Not everybody feels that way. Listen, I'm sorry. You know, when you think about the fact that we got the vote in 1965.
Okay, they don't have free and fair elections in Iran. It's not even the same universe.
They can't go out of their house. The women.
You know what? There's no way I can make you understand.
Let me try something. It's like try to reverse roles with a black person in this country, let's say, because I think that's what you're talking about.
Yes.
Just try to understand from their point of view. From that point of view, this country does not do them well. Does not go.
Yes, thanks, Joy. Black folks in America have it as